Today's social studies lesson is Chapter 1, Lesson 4, Be Michigan Map Smart. First subheading, Our Neighbors. Can you name the other states that touch Michigan? There are 3 of them. Ohio and Indiana touch the bottom of the Lower Peninsula. Wisconsin touches the west end of the Upper Peninsula. These are all a part of the Great Lakes region. Since these states all share the Great Lakes, they have much in common. People often think of the land around the Great Lakes as one region. Take a look at the map on the right-hand side, the Great Lakes region there. Michigan is next to a foreign country. Do you know what it is? On a map, you can see that this is Canada. Canada also shares the Great Lakes with the United States. Canada is north of Michigan and to the east. 3 rivers form the border between Canada and Michigan. To reach Canada, you must cross one of these on a bridge. The land of Michigan and the land of Canada do not touch. The people of Michigan are friendly with the people of Canada. You can go across the border anytime you wish. Many people take vacations in Canada. Also, products are shipped from Michigan to Canada and from Canada to Michigan. Our cities with the most people. Most of the people in Michigan live in cities. Our largest city is Detroit. Detroit is in the Lower Peninsula near Canada. Look on your map and find Detroit. That's on the next page. About 1 million people live in Detroit. It is one of the largest cities in the United States. Detroit was started about 300 years ago, but it is not our oldest city. Michigan's second largest city is Grand Rapids. It is in the western part of the Lower Peninsula. Grand Rapids is much smaller than Detroit. About 200,000 people live there. Grand Rapids was started about 170 years ago. Warren and Flint are almost the same size. They are our 3rd and 4th largest cities. They have about 140,000 people each. Pioneers started Warren about 1835 and Flint in 1819. Both of these cities are not far from Detroit. Look on a map and find them. Many of the people in Michigan live in or near Detroit. We, of course, live surrounded by the city of Detroit. We are in Hamtramck, or I should say, Taubeda is in Hamtramck, and we are surrounded by the city of Detroit. We are known as what people call a city within a city. Let's go back to the reading. The cities in the Upper Peninsula are smaller than these. In the Upper Peninsula, the largest cities are Marquette, Escanaba, and Sault Ste. Marie. Marquette has the most people. About 22,000 people live there. Sault Ste. Marie is the oldest city in Michigan. It began in 1668. Wow, that was a long time ago. The second oldest Michigan city, St. Ignace, also in the UP, or Upper Peninsula, began in 1671. The name Upper Peninsula is sometimes shortened to the letters UP. Let's turn the page. Let's take a look on this page at Michigan cities. Larger selected cities shown. The size of the dot gives the rough idea of how many people live there. Without touching your screen on your computer, please take a look and point to the city of Detroit. Now go west and point to the city of Grand Rapids. Those two cities were mentioned as the first and second largest cities in the Lower Peninsula. Go east from Grand Rapids, north of Detroit, and touch the city of Flint and Warren. Warren is just above the city of Detroit. Flint is above the city of Pontiac. Let's go all the way to the top of the Lower Peninsula. We see the city of Mackinac City. If we go into the Upper Peninsula, touch where it says St. Ignace. That's the first city you come to when you cross the Mackinac Bridge. If you go north of St. Ignace, you see the city of Sault Ste. Marie. That is the oldest city in Michigan. Remember, it was founded in 1668. If you go west of Sault Ste. Marie, you go to the largest city in the Upper Peninsula, the city of Marquette. Let's turn the page. Compare those peninsulas. Remember from our reading, we compared the two peninsulas. Let's see what you remember from what we've read in the past. Take a look to your left at Michigan's high and low places, a topographical map that shows elevation, the low and the high places of Michigan. Let's start at the top of the reading. Remember which peninsula has the most land? It is the Lower Peninsula. This peninsula looks like a mitten on the map. It has enough land to make about 2 1/2 Upper Peninsulas. The UP has some of the oldest cities. The Lower Peninsula has more cities. Almost 30 times more people live in the Lower Peninsula. The Upper Peninsula has more mountains. The land there is the highest. The highest mountains in Michigan are Mount Arvon and Mount Curwood. Each is almost 2,000 feet tall. They are part of the Huron Mountains. Another group of mountains in the UP are the Porcupines. They are in the western part of that peninsula. If you take a look at the map above, you can see where the black or dark brown is. That's the highest point. Remember, that is called Mount Arvon. The lowest land in Michigan is along the shore of Lake Erie. Which peninsula has that area? Two other things the Upper Peninsula has are copper and iron. For a long time, much copper came from Michigan's UP. Iron is still mined there. The Upper Peninsula is farther north, so it is usually colder. It has a shorter season to grow crops. Talk about snow. The Upper Peninsula really has a lot of it. Some parts can have 20 feet of snow in one winter. That is to the rooftop of your house. That is almost enough to cover a house. Most parts of the Lower Peninsula have less than 5 feet each winter. Each of Michigan's peninsula is quite different. Each can be a region by itself. So we can say Michigan has 2 regions of its own. Michigan is also part of a bigger region, the Great Lakes region. Next subheading. It looks like a jigsaw puzzle. On some maps, Michigan might look like a jigsaw puzzle. You can see many squares and other small shapes. Why? Michigan is divided into many counties. Most of them look a little like boxes on the map. There are 83 altogether. Each has its own name. Keweenaw County is the farthest north. Wayne County has the most people. That's where we go to school, in Wayne County. Marquette County has the most land. Other counties are named after different things. Iron County has iron mines. Chippewa County is named after an Indian tribe. Jackson is named after a president of the United States. Do you know the name of the county where you live? If you were listening to my reading, you definitely know the answer. Check to see what other counties touch yours. At this point, let's take a look at the map. Don't touch your computer screen, but find the county of Wayne. If you remember on the other map where Detroit is, you should be able to find Wayne County. That's the county that you live in. That's the county we go to school in. What other counties touch Wayne County? If you go to the north, it would be Oakland County. If you go to the east, it would be Macomb County. If you go to the west, it would be Washtenaw and Livingston County. And if you go to the south, it would be Monroe. A county is like a little state in many ways. Each one has its own capital, called the county seat. That city has a building called the county courthouse. Trials are held in the courthouse. Many records are also kept in the courthouse. Michigan has many counties. This makes it easier for people. They do not need to travel far to the courthouse. Driving a long way to go to court or to record a land sale would be a bother. Counties are also small to help meet the needs of the people. People from one area often have different needs than those in another. If our counties were big, it might be hard to please everyone. It would be harder for county government to help all the people. Let's take a look at the questions to think about. These will be on your exit ticket. Number 1, name the 3 states touching Michigan. Number 2, name the 2 largest cities in Michigan. Number 3, compare 2 things about Michigan's peninsulas. Number 4, what are 2 regions inside Michigan? Number 5, why doesn't Michigan have just 3 or 4 counties? If you were listening carefully, you already know the answer to those questions. Thank you for listening and doing your best today.